So if you've been following, I'm picking up from where we last left off about Adam and Eve. And once again, I do thank you for your time. I am feeling better, much, much better. I definitely thank God that He is a healer, and I was able to recover speedily and quickly. Amen. But picking up where we last left off, this is the truth about Adam and Eve like you've never heard before, the full story. And so we're going to pick up a little bit ahead of where I last left off. This is when Eve gathers her children around before Eve gives up the ghost. Then saith Eve to them, Hear all my children and children's children, and I will relate to you how the enemy deceived us. It befell that we were guarding paradise, each of us the portion allotted to us from God. Now I guarded in my lot the west and the south, but the devil went to Adam's lot where the male creatures were. For God divided the creatures, all the males he gave to your father, and all the females he gave to me. And the devil spake to the serpent, saying, Rise up, come to me, and I will tell thee a word, whereby thou mayest have profit. And he arose and came to him. And the devil saith to him, I hear that thou art wiser than all the beasts, and I have come to counsel thee. Why dost thou eat of Adam's tares and not of paradise? Rise up, and we will cause him to be cast out of paradise, even as we were cast out through him. The serpent saith to him, I fear lest the Lord be wroth with me. Wroth means mad. The devil saith to him, Fear not, only be my vessel, and I will speak through thy mouth words to deceive him. That means the devil gonna use the snake. Well, possess the snake. And instantly he hung himself from the wall of paradise. And when the angels ascended to worship God, because in the morning time, the angels, when the sun is rising, they worship the Most High. Then Satan appeared in the form of an angel and sang hymns like the angels. And I bent over the wall and saw him like an angel. But he saith to me, Art thou Eve? And I said to him, I am. What art thou doing in paradise? And I said to him, God set us to guard and to eat of it. The devil answered through the mouth of the serpent, Ye do well, but ye do not eat of every plant. And I said, Yea, we eat of all, save one only, which is in the midst of paradise, concerning which God charged us not to eat of it. So God, he said, no, can't eat of that. For he said to us, on the day on which ye eat of it, ye shall die the death. Then the serpent saith to me, May God live, but I am grieved on your account, for I would not have you ignorant. But arise, come hither. Hearken to me, and eat and mind the value of that tree. But I said to him, I fear lest God be wroth with me, as he told us. And he saith to me, Fear not, for as soon as thou eatest of it, ye too shall be as God, in that ye shall know good and evil. But he left a lot of stuff out. But God perceived this, that ye would be like him. So he envied you and said, Ye shall not eat of it. Nay, do thou give heed to the plant, and thou wilt see its great glory. Yet I fear to take of the fruit. And he saith to me, Come hither, and I will give it thee. Follow me. And I opened to him, and he walked a little way, then turned and said to me, I have changed my mind, and I will not give thee to eat until thou swear to me to give also to thy husband. And I said, What sort of oath shall I swear to thee? Yet what I know I say to thee, by the throne of the Master, and by the cherubim, and the tree of life, I will give also to my husband to eat. And when he had received the oath from me, he went and poured upon the fruit the poison of his wickedness, which is lust. Did you catch that? Lust, the root and beginning of every sin. And he bent the branch on the earth, and I took of the fruit and I ate. See, it don't matter. Most people, when you think about lust, you think of sex, but no, you can lust after money too. You know? And I just want to point out, see, the Bible is it's just an overview. It's like a syllabus. Now you get in the details. See, in the original Bible, it was never said that Eve swore an oath to the devil. But now we getting the full picture. Now we able to see why the devil was able to speak through Eve, because she swore an oath. Did she know what she was doing? I don't think she did. And they were used to angels, coming to minister to them and things of that nature. So I told y'all, Adam and Eve was like babies, grown human babies. They didn't know evil. And in that very hour, my eyes were opened, and forthwith I knew that I was bare of the righteousness with which I had been clothed upon. And I wept and said to him, why hast thou done this to me, and that thou hast deprived me of the glory which I was clothed? But I wept also about the oath which I had sworn. But he descended from the tree and vanished. And I began to seek in my nakedness and my part for leaves to hide my shame. But I found none. For as soon as I had eaten, the leaves showered down from all the trees in my part, except the fig tree. That means that, because remember earlier, she said that all the, the animals, the female animals and female trees, that was all given to her on her side. So that was a clear sign that, all the leaves fall, like in fall, how all the leaves die. That's what happened. Except the fig tree only. But I took leaves from it and made for myself a girdle, and it was from the very same plant of which I had eaten. And I cried out in that very hour, Adam, Adam, where art thou? Rise up, come to me, and I will show thee a great secret. But when your father came, I spake to him words of transgression, which have brought us down from our great glory. For when he came, I opened my mouth, and the devil was speaking, see? And I began to exhort him and said, come hither, my lord Adam, hearken to me, and eat of the fruit of the tree of which God told us not to eat of it, and thou shalt be as a god. And your father answered and said, I fear lest God be wroth with me. And I said to him, fear not, for as soon as thou hast eaten, thou shalt know good and evil. He thought that was Eve talking to him. He didn't know he was talking to the devil. And speedily I persuaded him, and he ate, and straightway his eyes were open, and he too knew his nakedness. And to me he saith, O wicked woman, what have I done to thee, that thou hast deprived me of the glory of God? And in that same hour we heard the archangel Michael blowing with his trumpet and calling to the angels and saying, you see, God was waiting to see what they was going to do. That reaction was too quick. And God did not plant that tree. See, I've done the research. And then also, I found out that God did not plant that tree. That tree was, because notice, Adam named everything. but that tree. So the angels and saying, Thus saith the Lord, come with me to paradise and hear the judgment with which I shall judge Adam. And when God appeared in paradise, mounted on the chariot of his cherubim, with the angels proceeding before him and singing hymns of praises, and all the plants of paradise, both of your father's lot and mine, broke out into flowers. Wow. Wow, so that means, remember how I just read how all the leaves had fell off of Eve's trees? And so I'm assuming the same thing happened with Adam too. But when the Most High pulled up, everything bloomed. Wow, that is awesome. Both of your father's lot and mine broke out into flowers, and the throne of God was fixed where the tree of life was. And God called Adam, saying, Adam, where art thou? Can the house be hidden from the presence of his builder? Then your father answered, It is not because we think not to be found by thee, Lord, that we hide, but I was afraid because I am naked, and I was ashamed before thy might, my master. God saith to him, Who showed thee that thou art naked, unless thou hast forsaken my commandment, which I delivered thee to keep it? Then Adam called to mind the word which I spake to him, saying, I will make thee secure before God. And he turned and said to me, Why hast thou done this? And I said, The serpent deceived me. Okay, so picking up, this is where I stopped. And God saith to Adam, Since thou hast disregarded my commandment and hast hearkened to thy wife, cursed is the earth in thy labors. Thou shalt work it, and it shall not give its strength. Thorns and thistles shall spring up for thee, and in the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat thy bread. Thou shalt be in manifold toils. Thou shalt be crushed by bitterness, but of sweetness shalt thou not taste. Weary shalt thou be, and shalt not rest. By heat shalt thou be tired, by cold shalt thou be straitened. Abundantly shalt thou busy thyself, but thou shalt not be rich, and thou shalt not grow fat, but come to no end. The beast over whom thou didst rule shall rise up in rebellion against thee. Didn't I just say that? For thou hast not kept my commandment. I read that on the last video, how the nature of the animals was changed. And the Lord turned to me and said, Since thou hast hearkened to the serpent and turned a deaf ear to my commandment, so that means that, Eve was told too, thou shalt be in throes of travail and in intolerable agonies. Thou shalt bear children in much trembling, and in 1 hour thou shalt come to the birth and lose thy life. See? That's what's happening now. From thy sore trouble and anguish, but thou shalt confess and say, Lord, Lord, save me. And I will turn no more to the sin of the flesh. And on this account, from thine own words, I will judge thee by reason of the enmity which the enemy has planted in thee. But he turned to the serpent in great wrath and said, Since thou hast done this, and become a thankless vessel until thou hast deceived the innocent hearts, accursed art thou among all beasts. Thou shalt be deprived of the victual of which thou didst eat, and shalt feed on dust all the days of thy life. On thy breast and thy belly shalt thou walk, and be robbed of hands and feet. There shall not be left the ear nor wing, nor one limb of all that with which thou didst ensnare them in thy malice, and caused them to be cast out of paradise. And I will put enmity between thee and his seed. He shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel until the day of judgment. Thus he spake and bade the angels have us cast out of paradise. And as we were being driven out amid our loud lamentations, your father Adam besought the angels and said, leave me a little space that I may entreat the Lord that he have compassion on me and pity me, for I only have sinned. And they left off driving him, and Adam cried aloud and wept, saying, pardon me, O Lord, my deed. Then the Lord said to the angels, why have ye ceased from driving Adam from paradise? Why do you not cast him out? Is it I who have done wrong, or is it my judgment badly judged? I'm not laughing at God, but that's how you know. That's how you know. That's how you know he black. Look. So Adam goes and be like, okay, I know y'all driving me out, but hold on, just give me a little time. Let me get okay, God, please, please, please. And so then God will turn to the angels and say, why have you ceased from driving Adam out of paradise? Why do you not cast him out? Is it I who have done wrong? Or is it my judgment badly judged? That's how you know, man. God has soul. I'm telling you, he's black. Then the angels fell down on the ground and worshiped the Lord, saying, thou art just, O Lord, and thou judgest righteous judgment. I told y'all God snapped on Adam and Eve. This is him he snapped on them. And he snapped on the angels too. Hey, this is how you gonna do a lot of these so-called Christians. And a lot of Christians gonna gag. Especially men like that Bishop Wooten and Jamal Bryant, whose beef and feud, they remind me of Biggie and Tupac. Remember how Biggie and Tupac, remember how they got bigger than rap music? Well, Wooden's and Bryant's beef has gotten bigger than church, has gotten bigger than, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like, okay, people sit up and talk about the way that I talk, but this man is in a pulpit calling somebody else, another man's woman, a $2, whore. And it's like, where is your level of whether she had on, because don't none of them follow the word of God. Don't none of them do. I mean, Bishop Wooten is pagan. He already stood in a pulpit and lied on Christ. He lied and said that Christ's birthday was December 25th. He's pagan. And Jamal Bryant is even worse. Both of these men is going to hell. And a lot of their followers are going to follow them there. These two men have gotten like Biggie Smalls and Tupac. It's not about God. It's not about the word of God. It's about them trying to outdo each other. That's the way I see that. And they both gonna end up in hell. But anyway, but the Lord turned to Adam and said, oh, so so after the angel said that to him, he looked at them, he gave them a look, and then he turned around and was like, I will not suffer thee henceforth to be in paradise. I'm telling you, man, God, I could just see this. I can't see God's face, of course, but man, I could see this. This is some like gangster stuff. Like, y'all know how some black men are, especially them old school black men, like, y'all know it. Y'all know how they are. This is that. Imagine Bernie Mac or somebody like that. Man, get the nigga out of here. Like, am I tripping? No, sir, no. Then he turned around and had him. I will not suffer thee henceforth to be in paradise. And And Adam answered and said, Grant me, O Lord, of the tree of life, that I may eat of it before I be cast out. Then the Lord spake unto Adam, Thou shalt not take of it now, for I have commanded the cherubim with flaming sword that turneth every way to guard it from thee, that thou taste not of it. But thou hast the war which the adversary hath put into thee, yet when thou art gone out of paradise, if thou shouldst keep thyself from all evil, as one about to die, when again the resurrection hath come to pass, I will raise thee up, and then there shall be given to thee the tree of life. Thus, see, that's how you know this is canon. Who was the resurrection? Who responsible for that? Ain't this guy talking about his son? So I'm asking you, how is this not canon? They lied to you in the pews, man. They lied to you. And who was the they? The Roman Catholic Church and the ill-ish people. Thus spake the Lord, and ordered us to be cast out of paradise. But your father Adam wept before the angels opposite paradise, and the angels say to him, What wouldst thou have us to do, Adam? And your father said to him, Behold, ye cast me out. I pray you allow me to take away fragrant herbs from paradise, so that I may offer an offering to God after I've gone out of paradise, that he hear me. And the angels approached God and said, Ahia, Ashar Ahia, eternal king. I don't know who that, well, I do know who that name is right there. The J-A''E''L, that's not the name of God. Eternal king, command my Lord. God's name is Ahia, Ashar Ahia, not Yahweh, not Yehoshua, not Jehovah, not Jehovah. None of that. It's Ahia, Ashar Ahia. Eternal king, command my Lord, that there be given to Adam incense of sweet odor from paradise and seeds for his food. And God bade Adam go in and take sweet spices and fragrant herbs from paradise and seeds for his food. And the angels let him go, and he took 4 kinds, crocus and nard and calamus and cinnamon, and the other seeds for his food. And after taking these, he went out of paradise, and we were on the earth. See, that'll let you know. Like, so, the paradise, and which is the Garden of Eden. Sometimes I be like, it can't be on the earth because of what I be reading in these lost books. It's like, or unless it's like a portal, like it is like like a world within a world type of thing. Where the veil, if you split the veil, then you will see in the what the 5D actually is. Now then, my children, I have shown you the way in which we were deceived, and do ye guard yourselves from transgressing against the good. And when Eve had said this in the midst of her sons, while Adam was lying ill and bound to die after a single day from the sickness which had fasted upon him, she said to him, How is it that thou diest and I live? Or how long have I to live after thou art dead? Tell me. And Adam saith to her, Reck not of this, for thou tarriest not after me, but even both of us are to die together. And she shall lie in my place, but when I die, anoint me, and let no man touch me till the angel of the Lord shall speak somewhat concerning me. For God will not forget me, but will seek his own creature. And now arise rather and pray to God till I give up my spirit into his hands, who gave it to me. For we know not how we are to meet our Maker, whether he be wroth with us, or be merciful and intend to pity us and receive us. And Eve rose up and went outside and fell on the ground and began to say, I have sinned, O God, I have sinned. O God of all, I have sinned against thee. I have sinned against the elect angels. I have sinned against the cherubim. I have sinned against thy fearful and unshakable throne. I have sinned before thee, and all sin hath begun through my doing in the creation. Eve thus prayed, even thus prayed Eve on her knees, and behold, the angel of humanity came to her and raised her up and said, Rise up, Eve, from thy penitence. For behold, Adam thy husband hath gone out of his body. Rise up, and behold, his spirit borne aloft to his maker. And Eve rose up and wiped off her tears with her hand. And the angel saith to her, Lift up thyself from the earth. And she gazed steadfastly into heaven. Behold, a chariot of light borne by 4 bright eagles. And it were impossible for any man born of woman to tell the glory of them or behold their face. And angels going before the chariot, and when they came to the place where your father Adam was, the chariot halted, and the seraphim, and I beheld golden censers between your father and the chariot, and all the angels with censers and frankincense came in haste to the incense offering, and blew upon it the smoke of the incense veiled firmament. And the angels fell down and worshipped God, crying aloud and saying, Ahia, Ashar, Ahia, Holy One, have pardon, for he is thy image and the work of thy holy hands. And Eve beheld 2 great and fearful wonders standing in the presence of the Most High. And I wept for fear, and I cried aloud to my son Seth. I said, Rise up, Seth, from the body of thy father Adam, and come to me, and thou shalt see a spectacle which no man's eye hath yet beheld. Then Seth arose and came to his mother, and to her he saith, What is thy trouble? Why weepest thou? And she saith to him, Look up, and see with thine eyes the 7 heavens open, and see how the soul of thy father lies on his face, and all the holy angels are praying on his behalf, saying, Pardon him, Father of all, for he is thine image. Pray, my child Seth, what shall this mean, and will he one day be delivered into the hands of the invisible Father, even our God? But who are the 2 Negroes who stand by at the prayers for thy father Adam? And Seth telleth his mother that they are the sun and moon, and themselves fall down and pray on behalf of my father Adam. Eve said to him, Where is their light, and why have they taken on such a black appearance? And Seth answereth her, The light hath not left them, but they cannot shine before the light of the universe, the Father of light, and on this account their light hath been hidden from them. Now while Seth was saying this to his mother, lo, an angel blew the trumpet, and there stood up all the angels, and they were lying on their faces, and they cried aloud in an awful voice and said, Blessed be the glory of the Lord from the works of his making, for he hath pitied Adam, the creature of his hands. But when the angel had said these words, lo, there came one of the seraphim with 6 wings, and snatched up Adam and carried him off to the Asherusian lake, and washed him thrice in the presence of God. And God saith to him, Adam, what hast thou done? If thou hadst kept my commandment, there would now be no rejoicing among those who are bringing thee down to this place. Yet I tell thee that I will turn their joy to grief, and thy grief will I turn to joy. And I will transform thee to thy former glory, and set thee on the throne of thy deceiver. But he shall be cast into this place to see thee sitting above him. Then he shall be condemned, and they that heard him, he shall be grieved sore when he seeth thee sitting on his honorable throne. And he stayed there 3 hours, lying down. And thereafter the Father of all, sitting on his holy throne, stretched out his hand and took Adam and handed him over to the archangel Michael, saying, Lift him up into paradise unto the third heaven, and leave him there until that fearful day of my reckoning, which I will make in the world soon to come. Then Michael took Adam and left him where God told him. But after all this, the archangel asked concerning the laying out the remains, and God commanded that all the angels should assemble in his presence, each in his order. And all the angels assembled, some having censers in their hand, others trumpets. And lo, the Lord of hosts came on, and 4 winds drew him, and cherubim mounted on the winds, and the angels from heaven escorting him. And they came on the earth where was the body of Adam. And they came to paradise, and all the leaves of paradise were stirred, so that all men begotten of Adam slept from the fragrance, save Seth alone, because he was born according to the appointment of God. Then Adam's body lay there in paradise on the earth, and Seth grieved exceedingly over him. Then God spake to the archangels Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, and Raphael, Go away to paradise in the third heaven, and strew linen clothes, and cover the body of Adam, and bring oil of fragrance, and pour it over him. Now y'all know why I'm into oils. And they acted thus did the 3 great angels, and they prepared him for burial. And God said, Let the body of Abel also be brought. And they brought other linen clothes, and prepared his body also, for he was unburied since the day when Cain his brother slew him. For wicked Cain took great pains to conceal him, but could not, for the earth would not receive him. For the body sprang up from the earth, and a voice went out of the earth, saying, I will not receive a companion body till the earth which was taken and fashioned in me cometh to me. I told y'all in another video that Cain tried to bury Abel. 3 times. He tried to bury him. He tried to bury him 3 times, and the earth spit him up. I will not receive a companion body till the earth which was taken and fashioned in me cometh to me. At that time the angels took it and placed it on a rock till Adam his father was buried. And both were buried according to the commandment of God in the spot where God found the dust. And he caused the place to be dug for 2. And God sent 7 angels to paradise, and they brought many fragrant spices and placed them in the earth. And they took the 2 bodies and placed them in the spot which they had digged and builded. And God said, Adam, Adam. And the body answered from the earth and said, Here am I, Lord. And God said to him, I told thee that earth thou art, and to earth shalt thou return. Again, I promise to thee the resurrection. I will raise thee up in the resurrection with every man who is of thy seed. After these words, God made a seal and sealed the tomb, that no one might do anything to him for 6 days, till his rib should return to him. Meaning when Eve, passed away. Then the Lord and his angels went to their place, and Eve also, when the 6 days were fulfilled, fell asleep. But while she was living, she wept bitterly about Adam's falling on sleep, for she knew not where he was laid. For when the Lord came to paradise to bury Adam, she was asleep, and her sons too, except Seth, till he bade Adam be prepared for burial. And no man knew on earth except her son Seth. And Eve prayed in the hour of her death that she might be buried in the place where her husband Adam was. And after she had finished her prayer, She saith, Lord, Master God of all rule, estrange not me, thy handmaid, from the body of Adam, for from his members didst thou make me, but deem me worthy, even me unworthy, that I am and a sinner, even me unworthy that I am, and a sinner, to enter into his tabernacle, even as I was with him in paradise, both without separation from each other, just as in our transgression we were both led astray, and transgressed thy command, but were not separated. Even so, Lord, do not separate us now. But after she had prayed, she gazed heavenwards and groaned aloud, and smote her breast, and said, God of all, receive my spirit. And straightway she delivered up her spirit to God. And Michael came and taught Seth how to prepare Eve for burial. And there came 3 angels, and they buried her body, where Adam's body was, and Abel's. And thereafter Michael spake to Seth, and saith, Lay out in this wise every man that dieth to the day of the resurrection. And that's real to this day. People try to be buried within like 7 days or so. Now today, people don't be having insurance and stuff like that, but normally it usually take about 7 days. See, everything is still lay out in this wise every man that dieth till the day of resurrection. And after giving him this rule, he saith to him, Mourn not beyond 6 days, but on the 7th day rest and rejoice on it, because on that very day God rejoiceth, yea, and we angels too, with the righteous soul who hath passed away from the earth. Even thus spake the angel, and ascended into heaven, glorifying God, and saying, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord, and the glory of God the Father, for to him it is meet to give glory, honor, and worship with the eternal life-giving Spirit, now and always and forever. Amen. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts, to whom be glory and power forever and forever. Amen. Then the archangel Joel glorified God, saying, Holy, holy, holy Lord, heaven and earth are full of thy glory. So I came to the end of that Adam and Eve, the apocalypses of Moses. And so so my next account is from the Ethiopian Bible. And that gives an account like no other. Okay? The Ethiopian Bible, which is the longest Bible, pretty much one of the oldest Bibles. And a lot of people, they know about the Ethiopian Bible, right? But they never think about, how did the Ethiopians get a Bible? Well, the Ethiopians got a Bible because Moses went to Ethiopia. I've talked about this in my previous videos. That's why you have to read these lost books of the Bible, because I believe it's in the book of Jubilees, but it could be in the book of Jasher too. Moses spent 9 years in the Ethiopian army, and he rose up to become king of Ethiopia. The name of the general, or the name of the king at the time that passed away, I think his name was Kikianus or something like that. I talked about it on one of my videos previously. But that's how they got the Ethiopian Bible, because Moses was there. And you think Moses didn't tell them about all that would happen? Because they are from Ham. They're not of Shem. So they don't have any rights to the promises. But through Moses marrying Zipporah, who was Ethiopian, she was black. That's how the Ethiopians, there's a remnant of Ethiopia that are Jews. And it's not through Zipporah, because Zipporah came from Ham. So how could that don't make no sense, you know? No, it's because of Moses. And see, those ill-ish people, they go by lineage on the mother side. If you look this stuff up, you will see what I'm saying is true. Hey, don't take my word for it. Everything I say, Google it. Because, baby, I sure have spent my time on Google, Googling all of this stuff. That's how I can talk about it. So, but I'm moving away. But before I get into the Ethiopian account, I have this to say. This is what I have to say. A lot of people ain't gonna like what I have to say. A lot of people is not gonna like how I deliver the message. But you need to hear it this way because you need to understand where we are at in time. Black women, I love you down, but you need to hear this. Your time has been fulfilled. See, I'm not discrediting your hard work. Your hard work was your hard work to get you to where you are at today. But what you don't understand, what a lot of you don't understand, is that you were used. You were used. You were used just like how a lot of people use you when they have their plights. You know, if they can get the black women to rally behind them, you know, the black men is, you know, 9 times out of 10, well, it used to be that way, is going to fall suit, you know, but white men, Esau, and this government used you to, it was a double-edged sword. They elevated you to cause jealousy between man and woman. And as I've been reading this Adam and Eve, because Adam and Eve was black. Adam and Eve was black. And so everything that I've been reading to you, how black men and black women don't get along today, it's reason for that. Because of the sin that came through Adam and Eve. And the evidence is here, you know. And we put that with us in the future, later on, never keeping our end of the covenant, going through the curses of Deuteronomy 28:15-68. This is where we at today. You were used. I always say this. Black women and, you know, the black LGBTQIA, we were given the opportunity to thrive above the black man because the black man was being busy funneled into the private prison system. And if you do not agree with that, you are in denial. And it's kind of what I be saying, like, you know, it's like sometimes I feel like some black women, they don't want to recognize the struggles that black men have been through. You know, it's just all about, you know, us and, you know, we're the most disrespected and we're the most. And so, and that's another thing too. You know how y'all say that a lot? See, you put a curse on yourself. You put a curse on yourself as you continue to say that. Because what I want you to take note of is that now that the white man is done elevating you, now you have to turn back and you are going to seek protection in black men. But when you turn around, that black man who you like to call feminine, he going to be standing with his arms crossed, looking at you, patting his foot. And he gonna tell you that you have to get, not stand beside him, but you have to get behind him because he feel like he can't trust you. From the welfare deal that happened years ago. I've already laid the facts for all of this in my video on my YouTube channel, my message to the black man and to the black woman. See, a big problem with a lot of black women is they don't like to take accountability. They don't like to see the part that they play in the mess. It's hard to get a black woman to take accountability for anything. And I've been friends with black women. I know. And so this is what's going to happen. You can get angry at me. You could talk about me. You can clown me. I don't care. But my words are going to come to pass. And I'm going to play this video to show you it's already been happening. It's already been happening. Because, see, in judgment, the daughters of Zion are going to face judgment too. See, their whole plan is they're going to blame it on the man. But that's why I've been reading this Adam and Eve stuff, because you will see Eve took accountability for her wrong, bro. She didn't just put it all off on Adam. And that's how a lot of black women are today. You know, I've seen some black women that sit up and say, oh, the worst thing that happened to women was a black man. And if you believe in God and you believe in the Bible, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for a black man. Adam was a black man, and Eve came from Adam's rib. I've read this already. And that's why a lot of people don't want to believe in the Bible. They don't want to believe in the scriptures because it's an order to things. It's an order. And the black man and black woman is out of order. And like I said, y'all are going to turn around to that black man because nobody else is going to take you because, and I'm not saying that you're not worthy to be taken, not saying that, not coming at you like that. But the way that it's supposed to go is you are supposed to be with the black man. But see, when you took that welfare deal, you put distrust between you and the black man. And the black man ain't innocent. Pookie and Ray Ray, you not innocent. But I'm telling you this is about what's happening now. But through this struggle, eventually y'all gonna come together again. Cause you're gonna see, black woman, you gonna see. And you gonna recognize, because the white man is gonna be gruesome to both of y'all again. See, this younger generation, they don't know what our ancestors went through civil rights. But y'all get ready, because we about to go through it again. The bloodshed that was caused, the dogs biting and all of that, it's about to come again. Because we have forgotten. I watched black young people get pulled over by the police. What you pulling me over for? You know, they think it's like this younger generation, they cannot see that you don't have the same rights as just because you can afford a Tesla because you done got all these views on your social media channel. You still don't have the same rights. And that's what's about. It's about to be a reality check, okay? For the LGBTQIA. I said it. See, black woman, I don't just talk just against you. Now, they already rolled back. They already completed rolling back. Look, next is gay marriage. You've seen them be removing. I've talked about all of this. They're trying to take slavery out the books. You know, they're trying to erase what they did. And you know the scripture, there's nothing new under the sun. It's happened before, it's going to happen again. Because we have not woken up. We have not woken up and came together as a nation to accept who we are. And I mean, with the school to prison pipeline, with this TikTok making this younger generation just short attention span, which links to functional illiteracy. These are the elements. This is the way that we are going. I'm telling you, Black women, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you are offended. I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. I'm not trying to. I'm just telling you what's going on. And you can clown me. Like I said, you could talk about me, dog me. But you watch, my words will come to pass. Because that's what's going to happen. Do I want this to happen? No. You know what I want? I want all of us to wake up and realize that we are the true children of Israel. What we did to God, what we did against Christ. Wake up to the history of who we are as a people. Wake up to the history of who is not the people. And it's time to get on one accord. That's what the Most High is waiting for us to get on one accord. But we don't want to do that. And it's help because they have designed this world to be against everything of God. So, like I said, Black women, we already seeing this with this video. You had a time. You was used to put enmity between you and the Black man because you got an opportunity and you was so on your grind that you really didn't realize that Black men because Black men are being funneled into a private prison via the music, them promoting crime. And in your heart and your soul, you know this is true. So while you was going off to go to college, but even in that, it was still net. Look at all the student loans you got to pay back, and all of this, crap that now you went up. I mean, you gotta see this, Black woman. You elevated yourself up. You dominated the nursing field, and now, boom, it's taken away from you. It's the curses of Deuteronomy 28:15-68. I don't know I can't unsee it. I'm sorry that you can't see it, baby. But that's what it is. You need to read the Willie Lynch letter. The more we keep fighting each other, the more we don't want to come together, this is going to get worse. This is going to get worse. I believe that this is going to get worse so bad to damn near, we are going to be on the verge of going back in slavery. And you think it can't happen. You think it can't happen. But see, you was too busy watching LeBron James. And they snuck in. You was too busy watching the Patriots and the Dallas Cowboys and the Steelers. You was too busy doing that. That's how you didn't notice this. You didn't want to listen to your loved ones that was telling you the truth, like me. No, you deemed us as crazy. We don't know what we talking about. But lo and behold, everything that I have said has came to pass. And I'm not by myself in this. All praises to the Most High and to the elders, that was in this, the righteous elders. I'm not affiliated with anyone. I'm solely by myself. I ain't never been in a camp. Don't need to be in a camp. But let's play this video.
See, back in January 2025, the occupant of the White House fired Gwen Wilcox, the first Black woman to serve on the National Labor Relations Board. Prior to getting fired, she ended up becoming chair of that board. Well, after she was fired, she was replaced as chair by Republican Marvin E. Kaplan. The following month, February 2025, the occupant of the White House fired General C.Q. Brown Jr. from his role as chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He was only the second black person to hold that role. He replaced him with retired Air Force Lieutenant General Dan Kane, who hadn't served as a 4-star general or admiral. In fact, they had to promote him to 4-star and get a waiver signed by the president right before his Senate confirmation so he could legally qualify for the job. In April 2025, Politico reported that the White House asked Willie Phillips, the black chairman of the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, to step down. And he did. He was later replaced by David Lassert, a Trump ally with no prior FERC experience.
Wow.
A month after that, in May, Alvin Brown, the former Jacksonville mayor, who was serving as the vice chair of the National Transportation Safety Board, was removed. The administration wants to replace him with John DeLue, an American Airlines pilot and safety official. That same month, Dr. Carla Hayden, the first black person and first woman to serve as Librarian of Congress, was fired. The White House named Todd Blanche as the acting librarian. But Deputy Librarian Robert Newland, who by library rule would take over, also claims the role. So as of now, they're both listed as acting in a disputed position. It's important to note that Todd Blanche has no public background in library science, archival management, cataloging, or managing a major cultural institution. Then in August, Robert Primus, one of the last black members of the Surface Transportation Board, fired. And there's still no permanent replacement for his role. That same month, the White House moved to fire Federal Reserve Governor.
I'm sorry, I just want to say that nigga look like he ain't never missed a day of work.
One of the last black members of the Surface.
This man look like he ain't never missed a day of work, okay? He one of them. Them glasses ain't even straight on his face. Them glasses crooked. This is, you know, he show up. This is one of our good black people, okay? He don't take a break late. He is one of them. And he got fired. I know everybody was like, they fired him? That's how you know, man.
Transportation Board, fired. And there's still no permanent replacement for his role. That same month, the White House moved to fire Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook, the first black woman to serve on the Federal Reserve's Board of Governors. But because of a decision by the Supreme Court, she still has her job. Then if you look at this administration's cabinet, there's only one black person, Scott Turner. Guess what role he has? Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. Since the start of this administration, over 300,000 black women have either been laid off or pushed out of their jobs.
Wow. And you don't see.
Housing and Urban Development. Since the start of this.
You don't see. You don't see. I mean, I could see if it, y'all, I could see if it was 20. I could see if it was 100. Hell, 500. But 300,000? That's not a curse. That's not a curse. Oh, y'all love to go to the first 5 books on the gays. But when it's time your turn, you don't want to have nothing to do with it. Oh, we love to go to Leviticus for the gays. But what about this? Oh, cursed shalt thou be in the city. Cursed shalt thou be in the field. Oh, okay. Ain't Congress and senators and all these black 300,000? Yeah, some of them were allowed to work in the city. That's your private prison system right there. Oh, you know we still being lynched, right? Oh, okay. The ox and the ass was what they used to make money in. Look at how they was violently taken away quickly, just like 300,000 black women jobs. You made money off the sheep. They took your job and gave them to the enemies. Ain't that what happened? Speaks for itself. No King's movement, right? Coincidence? Nope. Just saw an 8-year-old boy watch a YouTube video and carjack somebody. When he got caught, he was crying, I want my mama. Ain't this that? Oh, okay. Oh, baby. And I'm going to end with this. Not even this one. 43 and 44. The stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Ladies and gentlemen, isn't that not what's going on right now? With the 300,000 jobs and everything else? You need to wake up. Y'all better prepare, especially you black women, because you've been putting that curse on yourself for a long time. We the most unprotected. We the most disrespected. Well, you get ready, because now you are surely about to see it. Even more than what you have been seeing. And it's no shade.